sorry, late ako. Ano na ba na-research nyo?
Gusto kami nakapag-research, diba?
Research ng alin?
Bimp Eaga.
Ha? Anong BIMP Eaga? B. Belgium. I. Iran. BIM. Maldives. P. Peru.
And D for Brunei Darussalam. I, Indonesia. M, Malaysia. And P for Philippines! In 1992, then-President Fidel V. Ramos of the Philippines proposed a major economic initiative in ASEAN, the expansion of economic cooperation among the border areas of Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. This proposal met with a favorable response from the leaders of the three other countries and eventually led to the creation of the Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines East ASEAN Growth Area, or BIMP Eaga. BIMP Eaga was formally launched on March 24, 1994 in Davao City, Philippines.
Considering the richness and biodiversity of marine and terrestrial resources in BIMP Eaga's sub-region, agri-industry and fishery sectors have played significant role in contributing to the current developments and future directions of BIMP Eaga cooperation, particularly in narrowing the development gap, alleviating poverty, and achieving the Millennium Development Goals. This development will form an important basis in realization of an ASEAN community by 2015, particularly through regional economic integration in agri-industry and fisheries, as well as progressing in the implementation of ASEAN Integrated Food Security Framework.
Mami, sorry late ako. May forum pa kasi ako pinuntahan. Saan sila Sheena at si Diana?
May umalis lang, babalik lang sila may pinuntahan.
Okay. May na-research ka na ba about sa BIMP Eaga yung gina-cover nila na area and yung mga priorities. Okay. Yan.
BIMP Eaga covers the entire Sultanate of Brunei, the provinces of Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Maluku, and West Papua of Indonesia, the states of Sabah and Sarawak, and Federal Territory of Labuan in Malaysia, and Mindanao region, and the province of Palawan in the Philippines. The sub-region covers a land area of 1.6 million square kilometers with an estimated population of more than 57 million. BIMP Eaga currently has 5 priority areas of cooperation: transport, infrastructure and ICT, natural resource, which includes agro-industry, fisheries, forestry and environment, and energy, joint tourism, small and medium-sized enterprise, customs, immigration, quarantine, and security.
Last April 25, 2013, the 9th BIMP Eaga Summit was held in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei Darussalam. The BIMP leaders issued a joint statement toward 2015 ASEAN Single Market. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei Darussalam, Indonesian President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, Malaysian Senate President Abu Zahar Ujang, and President of the Philippines Benigno S. Aquino III posed for a photograph during the 9th BIMP Eaga Summit. Secretary of Foreign Affairs Albert F. Del Rosario and Secretary Luwalhati Antonio of the Mindanao Development Authority also participated in the said event. Mindanao Development Authority is the Philippine Coordination Office for BIMP Eaga.
The current ambassador of Brunei to the Philippines is Malay Halima Yusof. The current Indonesian ambassador to the Philippines is Johannes Cristiarto Soerio Lagowo, and the current Malaysian ambassador to the Philippines is Dato Seri Ibrahim Saad. The current Filipino ambassador to Brunei is Nestor Ochoa. For Indonesia, Maria Rosario Aguinaldo, and for Malaysia, Eduardo Malaya.
Terrorism has become a primary issue, along with the existence of terrorist networks in Southeast Asia, particularly in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The most recent event that has devastated Eaga's activities has been the global war against international terrorism, which in the region has included ongoing combat against the ASG. Although there have been several attempts to resolve the Mindanao conflict, an end to it remains distant. First, because of the different perceptions of the government and the Moro people about development policies. And secondly, because the conflict has regional and global impacts.
In April 2013, the Brunei Sultan made a grandiose entrance to the Philippines by piloting his own plane. His visit comes at the most opportune time since Brunei is a member of International Monitoring Team, which helps oversee the peace process between the Philippine government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF. The Sabah dispute is also a challenge between the two claimants, the Philippines and Malaysia. But President Aquino assured that the Philippines' relations with Malaysia will still remain strong.
So much
Achievements have been made through many numbers of working groups meetings, expositions, and conferences since the Eaga formation in 1994 until now. The strong commitment of the four participating governments enabled Eaga to demonstrate tangible results within 3 years after its inception. National policies were modified, cooperative agreements were facilitated, and cross-border arrangements were explored. Among other achievements, the participating governments facilitated the liberalization of the transport sector to allow for greater mobility of people, goods, and services. Within a short period, new and direct commercial air and sea linkages were established between major urban areas in the subregion. Several airport and seaport infrastructure facilities throughout Eaga were upgraded to accommodate the expected increase in passenger and cargo traffic. To facilitate intra-Eaga trade, uniform port tariffs in selected ports were established. To support tourism and promote travel within the sub-region, policies on travel, including procedures on documentary requirements, were streamlined and exit taxes for travel within Eaga were waived. Another achievement was in telecommunications. Major telecom firms operating in the Eaga areas implemented substantial tariff reductions on long-distance calls within the sub-region, enabling greater interaction among businesses. Of the productive sectors in Eaga, tourism initially benefited in most, with significant increases in both domestic and cross-border investments in hotels and other tourism-related facilities and activities. Eaga-wide cultural events, trade fairs, tour exchanges, and sports events were held by various public and private tourism organizations. These raised awareness not only of the sub-region's world-class destinations, but also of investment opportunities in tourism. BIMP Eaga members agreed to achieve food self-sufficiency in the region by 2016. This is after member countries' leaders met for an agriculture business meeting in the country, visioning BIMP Eaga as the food basket of ASEAN and eventually for all Asian nations. BIMP Eaga will be forming joint food security measures to attain food self-sufficiency by intensifying efforts in developing the agriculture and fishery production and supporting food industry research and development. Leaders agreed that joint venture agreements within the member countries are significant to achieve food self-sufficiency. Mindanao Development Authority Chair Luwalhati Antonio, who serves as the country's representative for BIMP Eaga, said that private sector also plays a vital role in BIMP Eaga's goal by engaging in business projects related to food production. A total of 7,000 hectares across Mindanao and Palawan are being devoted to hybrid rice production. Coconut industry in the country will also be enhanced as BIMP Eaga is developing its smallholder coconut-based industries initiated by the Philippine Coconut Authority in collaboration with its Indonesian counterpart. Strengthening the food industry within the region will also help farmers to engage in agribusiness and multi-sectoral partnerships that will help them out from poverty.
There was no Eaga without the Philippine enthusiastic in proposing the idea. Eaga became the first sub-regional economic cooperation to back up the Philippine National Program, Philippines 2000.
The establishment of Eaga represented the Philippines' foreign relations with other regional countries, and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, as the longest-running regional association.
Salamat, Teta.